We've all been there, seeing other children or dealing with our own. So distilling this, it's using positive and clear language. So just like the example with whining, right? So many times when I'm out in the world, I see people saying to children, don't run. That's really an invitation to run because the last word they hear is run. So it's important to give the children the instruction, what you want them to actually do. So if you see your child climbing up a chair, and you know they're going to get hurt, what do we say? Be careful. That doesn't tell me what to do. Stop climbing the chair. Oh, you're telling me climbing the chair. That's what my immature brain is hearing. But you can say, sit on the chair. So again, we're going to ask you in the chat, what other examples can you think of where you need to switch that language from a language of negativity, where we say don't think, they already get so many no's and don'ts from us, where you give the child the opportunity to learn what they need to do, how they need to act. The other thing you can do is, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not getting the slide to work. Lucy, I'm going to stop sharing for a minute.
That's fine.
That often helps. And try to get back to my presentation and see if it works this time. Yes, be assertive, calm, and consistent. Children are not as delicate as we think they are. They're pretty resilient. And sometimes we're more concerned about their feelings and we're apologetic in the way we approach them. But if you're firm in your conviction that you're doing this in the best interest of your child, whether it be your own child or the children in the school, then you can be more assertive. So if it's time for children to come in from recess, we're going in from recess, period. Whatever the transition is, you can handle it by being calm and consistent. Sometimes just repeating the same thing over and over helps drive your message across rather than giving long explanations, which we tend to do. It also helps when you offer limited choices. A frequent example is that bedtime, right? Time to go to bed. No, I don't want to. 5 more minutes. And you can be empathetic and you say, I know you want to keep playing. It's time to go to bed. The other thing you can do is establish a kind of routine. The option is not whether they're going to bed or not. The option is, are you going to wear your red pajamas or your green pajamas? So that way we give them a focus and we detract from the power struggle of going to bed. So it's the same thing with so many choices that you can give them. And think of your own when you've gone through one of those moments of disagreement. Just what choice can you give them?
We can create many opportunities for choice. I think children exercising the choosing is very important. Let's say at dinner time or at lunchtime, you can have in a very nicely setting up of plates that are with grapes and cheese and crackers. And this is what's going to be the lunch or the snack. And give a plate to your child so your child can pick how much he's going to take from each of the serving plates. That helps the child to start understanding, okay, whatever I have on my plate is whatever I have to eat. And this is what we're going to eat. And those choices that the child is exercising will helping the child to learn more about, okay, one of these and one of these, and I have to finish whatever I have on my plate. I have to finish it. So that helps. So creating opportunities for practicing choice, it is very important. Again, we have to avoid questions that invite no. Would you like to eat dinner? No, I'm playing. It's better if we say it's time for dinner. So little things like that set the tone. And usually ourselves, if we prepare ourselves and you are calm and you are confident, it sets that tone. Children mirror our mood. Children hear what we say. And if we say it with a tone of questioning, they are like, oh, she's not very sure about this, so should I follow or not? Usually the adult intention should be to have the child to stop crying or obeying passively. The intention of the adult should be to support the development of the skills that we are talking about here, to develop independence. That's what we want. That's our intention, not to make children that are obedient without thinking. Right, Regina?
So developing independence and making choices. So we're inviting you to just breathe and think these are life skills. It's not about getting them in from recess to have dinner, out of grandmother's house, back to school. Those are the little things. The long game is what you're looking at, the developing of independence. And we've said the word choices quite a few times. It's these little decisions, these little safe decisions that they're making that will promote the bigger, important decisions that you want them to be able to make late in life. And there's actually more, right, Blanca?
Yes, there is a lot more. We have to talk ahead of time before going to the store, before going to school. You have to talk to them. We have to use simple, clear language, avoid overwhelming details. Oh, we're going to talking too much. Sometimes we tell too much stories and we don't go to the point. Short phrases, clear phrases that help them more. They understand what we need. They need to know what is going to happen, when it's going to happen, as much as you can share the expectation and to be truthful. We don't want to be telling the child something that is not going to happen. So I will be there waiting for you. No, you're not. You're going to work and then you're coming back to pick me up. What about, Regina, what about having routines?
Routines are so important, and we as adults tend to have a routine, right? You either read your, do people read newspapers anymore? Maybe not. Do you read the news on the iPad, have your coffee? Those are routines that we establish for ourselves, and we like them. They are predictable. Even people like me who doesn't really like routines, sometimes routines are helpful. So I'll tell you another story that is personal as well. My now very successful and confident grandson, we had the advantage of having grandchildren is it gives us a perspective, right? We've seen generations going through this. So in this case, this little boy was impossible to sit in his car seat. It was like a huge tantrum, and we realized we were spending more time and more energy just trying to buckle him into that car seat. So the technique that we came up to with a lot of brainstorming is to have a routine. So we let him know ahead of time, Matthew, we're leaving in about 5 minutes. We know he doesn't have a sense of time, but 5 minutes sometimes click. You can now choose a book or a toy. So that became the routine. He knew, okay, probably going into the car. So he would choose a book and a toy. We get into the car and we'd say, when you buckle up, you can play with your toy or you can read your book. And that took all the power struggle and the tantrum away. It was a lifesaver, a time saver, and an energy saver, and a dignity saver because Matthew didn't have to go through the tantrum. We helped him through that. So also providing space and time. Again, adults, we finish work and we have the time to commute and leave work. Sometimes it comes home with us, especially if you're a school teacher, but you leave work. So we often don't give children that time and that space to do something. It comes to mind that when a colleague is doing something, we don't go to them and say, you need to stop writing that email right now because we need to have a meeting. You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say, stop writing the email. Having coffee with a friend, would you say, you need to put your coffee down? The parking ticket is due. We don't say that. We give each other the grace and the courtesy. So if we can provide children with that space and that time, that's really helpful to them as well. And we have big transitions, don't we?
Yes, we do. Big transitions, being new school, siblings, moving house, transitions are always going to happen. We cannot avoid them. Transitions are part of our life. And we keep repeating that because that's what it is. And we have to exercise them. We have to prepare yourself first. Preparation starts with me. As I am prepared, I can model a better perspective. The child senses confidence. This is an assurance that he's going to be safe. Then you are trusting the place or the person. So when we are prepared and we are confident, your child feels it, and so he can continue doing because you are giving the senses that he needs to go through. Practice. We can do visits, we can do stories, but the most important is what we model with our feelings. Support the children. Don't try to fix them. They're not, they, they're still going to be happening. Transitions are going to be, feelings will be happening. We cannot hold them in a bubble and not let them suffer with crying or with tears or with tantrums. This is going to still be there. Be calm and empathetic, offer limited choices, and always positive language. Tears are communication. That's important. We cannot always prepare for ahead of time. There is always something that happens, like when life happens, Regina.
So when life happens, as we've said a couple of times, you start with yourself. We're inviting you to shift the focus from your own needs to your child's needs, short-term and long-term. Keep in mind that their brain is developing and that they're going to be slower. So what do they need? Of course, you're going to acknowledge their feelings. You can tell them, I know you feel sad. However, I'm going to start that again. I know you don't want to leave the party. I know you're having fun, but your dad's waiting for us. Or it's time to do whatever else. So acknowledge their feelings and then tell them what it is that they need to do. Perhaps you promise that you take them swimming and the pool is closed or whatever reason, right? So if that happens, you can say, I know you're feeling disappointed. You wanted to swim today. You can't go to the pool today, but we can go to the park. Do you want to go to the park with swings? Or you want to go to the park with slides? So again, acknowledge, I know you're sad, you're disappointed. At all times, respect and clarity, just like you would have with another adult. Please don't bribe them. Don't say, if you go to school, you'll get a cookie at the end of the day, or negotiate. If you do this, then I can do that for you. Just say what you need, be very clear, be assertive, and be consistent because they need predictability. Again, the typical example, because it's such a daily example. The predictability of the sequence is dinner, bath, book, bed. If they know that's coming, you're going to avoid some of the stress on them and on you.
Create family rituals. They are very important, and sometimes they are hard if we are new parents, if we are new into this, and it's like really hard to create, as you were saying, you are, Regina, you don't like very much routines, but we have to start creating routines that become the family rituals, like the morning snuggle before getting out of bed, a bedtime book, a favorite song in the car, something that will tell the children what's going to happen. So whatever we do becomes a ritual because we have to do it consistently every single day. So it becomes predictable. The routines have to be predictable, have the same order, like morning steps, same leaving to the party, same way. We always do the same thing. I let the child know beforehand. I let the child know in a little bit more time. I let the child know at the end. Going to school, and this is for the school teachers, you can start telling your parents when the children go to school, to daycare, if it's going to be the first time, the children should be walking from the car to the door. That helps the child to feel more independent. That helps the child to feel that, okay, my mom is okay, me walking, if they are walking already, and say your short and sweet goodbyes. So usually I always recommend to the parents, just walk it, hold it with your hand, walk to the door, and make sure that you already say goodbye. Because when the door goes open, he goes in. Don't distract yourself at the moment that the door is open. Sometimes I see parents saying, oh, wait, another hug. And then you go down for another hug, and that becomes a problem. So once you're going to do something, just do it. Don't retract yourself. Transitional objects, that's another very important cue. We call them transitional objects. They are not comfort objects, are that comfort, and they can stay forever. You can have them until you are 60. Transitional objects are going to be for transition. So if we start seeing things on the same way, that's what our child is going to feel. So you are giving a toy, a blankie, or whatever for transition to get into the school. But it's a transition. We have to think that it has to be clear on our minds, so we treat it as it. A photo, a parent's scrunchie. Sometimes children get the scrunchie because it smells like mommy's hair. That also for schools, we can talk about songs. I used to sit for circle time, I will go and sit down at the middle of the floor and start singing a song. And the children will know I was singing along. And before the song was in the middle, everybody was sitting around me. We have to do these things as rituals because we have to do them every time, every day, all the time. And this helps them to know what happened. Sometimes it's not at the same time with hours. Like I start singing at 10 or at 10:30. That's not that bad. As long as I sit down and start singing, the children will come to me. It doesn't matter the time. They don't know about that time at this time. There's also external signals that the children use, that hourglasses, older children can help with clocks. And when it's 10 o'clock, we will go into the circle time. And some children know already. And you can see how in the classroom, older children will start getting into the circle just because they know it's time. Their body tells them when it's going to be time to go outside or to eat. Regina?
So back to you, your role and your approach. Again, we're going to say this again, give space and time. And what we mean by this is make sure that your child has heard you. So many times I've seen people talk to the backs of children. They're gone, they're not with you. They're in their present moment in their own brain. They have to hear what you say, interpret what you're saying before they can respond. So time to brush your teeth. Then count to 2. Don't count to 10, that's far too much. Just count to 2. Was my child looking at me? Did my child hear what I had to say? What's happening in their brain is, oh, that woman is talking to me. She's saying I need to do something. I need to get my toothbrush. Okay, I know what that is. Now I can get my toothbrush. So if you break down the steps from their perspective and you do that through those 2 seconds, it's the most valuable time you can invest. So before and after, model flexibility and confidence. They don't have to brush their teeth at 7 o'clock or immediately after dinner. They can perhaps play for a little while. The teeth have to be brushed. We need to remember the time they take in doing that. Again, acknowledge and celebrate successes. Say, you cleaned up so quickly and efficiently. That was very helpful. Again, avoid the thanking your child for things where they need to feel the satisfaction of doing it for themselves, not for you. They need to feel that they're contributing to the community. I think we've used the word calm many times in this presentation. We're aware and we're doing it purposely. So we ask you to be a calm, patient, attentive presence. And patient includes patient with yourself. Give yourself grace. We sometimes are so hard on ourselves. So be patient with yourself. And that way you can be a model for your child.